a gateway into something better. Carl was on here on Friday saying he had an Atari. Carl, I hope you fixed that. Let us know in the comments because you
Yeah,
said
I
you had
hope
an
you figured
Atari.
out what game you had because there's no way you had an Atari. If you had an Atari, you lying about your age. That's one thing I can say.
Hashtag pushing 40. That's all I'm
There you
saying. You might
go.
be pushing 50. I don't know, man. Ain't talking about an
Hey,
Atari.
might be.
Carl might be Benjamin Button, man. But make sure y'all subscribe to CTC. But Joe said it, and the clip is out there now. Make sure y'all subscribe and y'all follow us on Instagram. You see it right there at Refuse to Lose Sports on Instagram, and it's at R2L Sports on X/Twitter. Also, make sure y'all hit that like button. But Joe said, SGA, Sega, as Joe would say in my Joe voice, it's Sega, and Ant-Man is an Atari. And in the moment, I remember my facial expression because I'm like,
Yeah, mine
hold
was
up.
like that too. I was like, dang, Joe, like an Atari?
I was like, I can see you saying tears, but man, that's like decades between each other. Like, whew. And then you sit back and you watch how Shea plays the game. Yeah, I know you said you might be wrong. I know you also said, Carl, that you was gonna find out and make sure you fact check it. So I just want to make sure you
We just
fact
want
check
to
it.
know if you fact checked it. That's all, my
Yeah. No, we understand. Benjamin Button. But
guy.
to see these two players go up against each other, it's starting to make people raise more questions about who's the better of the two players. Now, before everyone was asking like who's going to be the face of the league, and then I remember there was an interview going around and now it's resurfaced where they asked Ant who's going to be the face or who's the best players in the league, and he said him, SGA, and Luca. And as any player would say, it was like, well, who's the better of the three? He said, I am. And of course, if you ask somebody that, you can always say to yourself because you got to have that confidence. And we already know what Ant-Man brings when he's talking about confidence. But the confidence being down 3-1 to the OKC Thunder may have a lot of people saying, are you sure? Because we're
Mhm.
watching these games and we're seeing two different players and we're seeing how these games are turning out. Now, of course, that one game that we're talking about, that's the game Ant went crazy in.
Mhm.
So the question is here, R2L, it's going to be a long all season, but this is what we do. Consistent or inconsistent? Who's the better player? SGA or Ant-Man? Dave?
Hey.
Better player right now? If we starting it, if we my heart,
Go ahead.
my,
I'll let the people see you.
my heart wants to say Ant-Man, but my brain is not gonna let me do that today, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. We talking about a guy who's averaging. I mean, he got the most games with 40 points, in the playoffs. We talking about they call him a free throw merchant when they really should be calling him a mid-range assassin. This kid right here, man, he got like, what he shooting like 60% from the mid-range. Like most of his points last night was from the mid-range. And just the way he plays the game is just like, remember I don't know if you all played GTA, I think that was GTA 5, where I can't think of his name right now, but at the end of the day, he had this mode where he was driving and you could slow the car down and everything around you would just move in slow motion. Some people would say it's kind of like the Matrix. And sometimes when you watch how SGA play, it's just like in the Matrix. Like last night, it was just like every shot he wanted to get, he can get it. It's like anywhere on the court, he could just find his spot and it's right there. And it's like, I don't know if he passing some of his mojo off to Jay Will, because that sometimes it's just like Jay Will looks like it's the same play at time. If you're not looking and your eyes was closed and they ain't say no names, you just like 2 points and they describe how the shot was made. You like, was that SGA or was that Jay Will? And then on the flip side of things, you hear about Ant and you're just like, why is it such a struggle at times for you to get here? Why is it such a struggle at times for you to get to your spots or understand how the game needs you or when to pick your spots to be aggressive or when to just sit back and relax and hand the ball off? Again, the age gap is there. The playoff experience, right? You're right, Carl. and I'll read
Technically, it
and I'll read what Carl said. Literacy is back. To troll a free throw is technically a mid-range shot. which is true.
It really is.
And but where was I going? But more so, Ant is just like he's just one of those. You know what? Nah, I can't say that about Brian Dawkins because he actually was the
Like that.
safety. He was the safety from the Redskins at the time. The Commanders was it LaRon Landry? I think that's his
Oh,
name. LaRon Landry
Ron Landry.
couldn't
Yeah.
cover to save his life, but he
His
can hit.
life.
But he can hit. Now,
Mhm.
if I'm wrong about this comparison, y'all can come back and kill me. But at the end of the day, he could hit, but he couldn't cover. And
Mhm.
sometimes Ant just seems like that. Like, if give me the ball, I'm gonna dunk it. And it's like you're better than that. So you just had to find your moments. And shout out to AJ for saying in the chat too. Is like take this all season and figure it out and put the game all together instead of just picking spurts and where you're going to do it. Like, oh, this game I'm gonna shoot threes, and we can see it. Because if you don't hit the three, then you check out. Oh, this game I'm gonna dunk on everybody, and if you can't dunk, then you're gonna force the threes. Oh, this game I'm gonna try to get to the lane, and if I can't really get to the lane, then I'm gonna just pass the ball instead of just putting it all together and having a perfect moment. And SGA right now is just having that moment. And Dave, go ahead and send a link, man. It's over. It's over. Go ahead and send a link, man.
Look, man. Um, this honestly, um, I made that face without even honestly looking into it. I didn't look into the actual players and how they
Same
played
here.
and the way that they are. But Joe was right. I'm sorry. Joe was right. It's just a different level. When you look at how SGA plays, there were moments, especially in the fourth quarter, where even when they blitzed him on defense, he did not change his pace. His pace stayed the same. He lets the game come to him. He doesn't force the game. He just lets the game come to him. There was times where they tried to send a double team, and he was like, no. He would call one of his players to go cut. I think he called Lou Dort to go make a cut while I think it was Nikhil Alexander Walker was on him or Jaden McDaniels was on him, and one of the two players was on Lou Dort. He's like, nah, cut just so that the other player wouldn't be able to double him, and made the cut, got to his spot, mid range, boom, had Rudy Gobert on him. Just a quick in and out, boom, boom, three, cash in his face. Then another time we had Rudy on him, boom, boom, got did a little push off. I mean, you got to do it nowadays. I mean, everybody does it now. Jordan did it. Got a little push off, mid range, boom. There were times where he just made the game slow down. And he just calmed it. He calmed the storm. Shout out to Vaughn who said this in the NBA chat earlier today. He's the calm to the storm of the Thunder.
Wow.
When the man comes in the game, when the man has the ball, he controls the game. The game is really slow for him. He does not rush anything. He makes sure he takes good shots, and he's not going to make everything. I mean, nobody's going to make every shot, but the man's going to make. He's going to make majority of his mid range for one. And all of the best players in the NBA, some of the best shooters to ever play in the game, were mid-range assassins. You look at Kawhi Leonard, he's a mid-range assassin. You look at Kobe, mid-range assassin. Jordan, mid-range assassin. Dwayne Wade, who a lot of people don't talk about, mid-range assassin. Paul Pierce, mid-range assassin. You look at Dirk. Dirk could shoot from the three, but he was a mid-range assassin as well. You look at Kevin Garnett, he was a mid-range assassin. And then out of all people I can't forget, Carmelo Anthony.
There we go.
Melo was one of the best mid-range shooters to ever play in the game. And I'm telling you, look, SGA is putting himself in that conversation to being one of the best mid-range shooters in the game because he ain't shooting a lot of this year is when he started to shoot more threes this season. And you look at what he did from him shooting more threes this season, and he still don't shoot a lot. He shoot maybe what three to five threes a game. Maybe, and that's back. And you hear that, that's kind of unheard of nowadays, because most of the star players are shooting 7, 8, 9 threes a game. Just players. And teams back in the day used to shoot like 10, 15 threes a game.
Yeah, you getting cut from the Celtics if you do that.
Exactly. 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 I feel like they said the changing of the guard. I feel like the old guard is coming back. That's what I feel like. It's not necessarily a change to me. I feel like the old guard is coming back. The guard used to, come in and get buckets, but mainly from the mid range and get to the free throw line. Because Kobe used to get to the free throw line a lot. Jordan used to get to the free throw line a lot. Melo used to get to the free throw line. Dwayne Wade. I mean, we all remember the '06 finals. Dwayne Wade got to the line, shot 22 free throws, 22, 23 free throws in the finals against the Mavericks when he brought them back from '02. So all I'm saying is SGA is definitely on a different level than Ant. Ant is more of the exciting player. If you look at what he does, he brings more of a pop to the game. He has
Yep.
the personality, he has the character, he has the moxie, he has all of that you want to see in a player. Like he come out, he gonna talk trash, he gonna dunk, he make face, all that. He gonna give you all that. He gonna shoot. And the crazy thing is, Ant is also good from the mid range. He don't know when to pick his spots. He don't know where his spots are on the floor. You look at SGA, he knows where all his spots are. He's getting to every single. He's going to get to his spots in every single game. He had an outlier 14-point game in game 3 when they got blown out. But other than that, Tomo, even with that 14-point game, he's still averaging almost 31 points per game in the series.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
The man just different. He just different, and he. I tell you one thing: SGA not gonna go a whole half only shooting twice in the whole half. That ain't gonna happen with him.
That's another reason why I'm upset. But go ahead.
That ain't gonna happen with him. But we got to give credit to OKC's defense though, because this is a lot. This is something that a lot of people were not talking about that game last night. And I have found this stat, and I posted it in the NBA chat. And shout out to AJ because he had hit me up and was like, if you find something else like this, let me know. But this is how they defended Ant-Man last night, Tomo. Front court touches. He had 30 front court touches for Ant-Man last night. Average defender defense was 5.6. That means they weren't far away from him. They doubled him 46% of the time. They made sure to get the ball out of his hands. And Tomo, that's the highest out of any game this playoffs. Any game. No, you can look at any game. You can game against the Lakers, Golden State. This is the most he's been doubled out of any game. Lou Dort was on him. Casey Wallace was on him a lot. Like it doesn't. Jalen Williams. They all made sure to get the ball out of Ant-Man's hands. They did not let him go crazy. So all I'm saying is the better player to me is clear as day is SGA. I don't think it's. I think there's no argument there. If you want to talk excitement, then yeah, it's the more exciting player is Ant for sure. That is clearly, but better as far as what they're gonna do for their team and individually. I think it's SGA.
And I gotta say this, it's definitely going to be one of those things where somebody with the stats you just said, I'm like, well, OKC has a better team, so of course you all gonna say SGA is the better player, and it's like, well, you could take away the teams, and I can tell you this: if we want to play this game, because this is what we do in sports, if you put SGA on Minnesota and you put Ant-Man on OKC, some people will say, man, that's a sweep for OKC. I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't think it's a sweep, but I do think these games will be kind of like the one last night, was a little bit closer. But
I think it'd be 2-2 if anything. A sweep? No, I think it'd be 2-2.
And you know why I can go with that? Because it is one stat here. Last night, you talk about your role players showing up at home. When your role players are helping you stay in a game, kind of like the game last night, I think they said they had a total of like 64 points.
Yes.
And last night from your role players, and all you needed was a 20. A 20. And Julius Randle, we're not even going to talk about that right now because the segment is more so for SGA and Ant-Man, but that whole we need to apologize thing was too. Everybody said it was too early.
Too early.
Too early
Too early. It's
because
too early. We was like, look, he's playing good. We're gonna give him props for that. But to say that we need to give him an apology, we ain't see he got to go through this entire playoffs. We're not talking about just one series. We talking about entire playoffs where he's played bad.
5 points.
This is the second game in this series where he did not play big minutes in the fourth quarter.
But
second
5 points.
And I said that Rudy Gobert was going to be unplayable. I didn't know Julius Randle was going to be unplayable.
The whole front court.
That's crazy.
They might as well just go with a super small lineup and just try to outshoot them at this point because that's
might have to. They might have to.
But yeah, I'm with you on the 2-2 because of course the first thing people do is they always go back to the team and be like, well, the team is this, the team is that, and we telling you about the player himself. Like if you put these two players on the court, you can see the difference. They're showing you the vast difference in their games each and every night, especially more so this series because it's one-on-one, like not one-on-one, but you're seeing them play against mano a mano, like your best versus my best. And at the end of the day,
and you can tell between the leadership between both of them, but they lead differently. SGA don't lead with talking; he lead with showing, and that's the thing with him. He lead with showing. If you look at how he is on the court, he literally slows the game down for everyone. He does not. He makes sure he's not taken out of the game. Now he will have a bad game every now and then, but you ain't gonna see a series where he's just like he ain't in it.
The trust is there. You can see the trust from the coach all the way down to the players.
Exactly.
And you can see
and that's not to say that they don't trust Ant, because I think they trust Ant. I mean, Ant got into the West Conference Finals last year, so they trust him. Of course, he's their best player, but the trust is different. It's just different with SGA, and you can tell with just the way he is, just the attention that just the attention that he brings. It's just a different type of leadership that he brings on the court. With OKC, and I think that would definitely carry over if he was with Minnesota. I think, like I said, I probably still would have picked OKC to win this series just because of the defense and everything. But the thing is, how would Ant look with the team? Would he be slowing the game down and shooting mid ranges, or would he still be trying to dunk on everybody or shoot threes? Because he was 1 of 7 from 3.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought the energy was gonna be enough to at least get him past this team because I did not expect. Maybe I brought the Julius Randle hype just a little bit too because I was like, as long as Ant can get you 20 and Julius can get you at least 15, you got a shot. And Rudy just do his thing down in the paint, you have a chance. And last night showed it that the team, if they show up, you got a chance.
Yeah,
but you two go missing.
And Rudy didn't have a bad game last night. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Rudy didn't have a bad game. I think he had like 9, maybe like 12 points and 9 rebounds. He had a good game last night. It's just that, throughout the rest of the series, he was pretty much unplayable. And that's what I said. I said he's not going to be able to do what he wants to do in this series like he did in the last series. It's just different with Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. So, but he had a game last night, and that was the game that they needed to win, and they lost.
They win that game. Now you got a better chance of like at least getting them on their heels. Now going back into OKC, and then Ant saying what he said after the game, saying he feel like he didn't struggle. He don't think him or Julius struggled. They had a game plan, and he made the right play all night. He's like, I don't look at it like I struggled. I just didn't get my shots. I didn't get enough shots to say I struggled.
So, you struggled. You didn't get the shot. You didn't shoot what you normally shoot. You struggled. Plain and simple. That's all it is, man. You be accountable. Be accountable. If you score 3 more points, you win the game.
I think it's gonna come with it comes with years in the league. Again, it's crazy that it's a 3-year difference between the two players, but you can see the 3 years. And also, one player, SGA, he got drafted by the Clippers, if I'm not mistaken.
He got drafted by the Clippers, and he was in that Paul George trade.
Yeah, and I think that also gave him that spunk too. I know the stories is coming about how different people said they seen it in him already and how they already knew that. But again, getting traded from a team that you got drafted to, basically them saying they don't believe in you because of the stories that came out behind it. I think Kawhi Leonard said, I'm only coming here if y'all get Paul George. And I think Doc Rivers was like, but this kid SGA is going to be nice. He's like, yeah, I don't care about him. Go get Paul George. and have that happen, and then they build around him the way they did, it's like lightning in a bottle.
Man, this team is just different, man. I picked them to win it all this year. So,
well, I mean, we got a tiebreaker coming up, so we're gonna see how these finals go. Because I think with the finals, we're gonna have to do game by game.
yeah, we're gonna have to. That's the only way Joe gonna get back into it is game by game.
Yeah,
I'm not guarantee you that's what he's gonna say. He's a game by game.
yeah, I can see it. Because trying to pick the series, we'll see who gets there. Because right now it's looking like it's gonna be OKC versus the Pacers. I don't know what the score is of the game right now, but 24. Oh no, it's 21. No, it's 24, 23. Knicks up.
It's close. It's close. It's first quarter, so we'll see.
Honestly, when it comes to coaches,
I don't
know. Yeah.
I don't know what I don't know if I can believe anything Doc says, honestly.
One thing I do believe is him saying, at least I got 3 games. Now I believe that.
He ain't get that this year. He got 1. He got 1 this year.
He don't need to get you no more. You need to be back on the sidelines where he was at. Not as a coach. I'd rather him call games at this point. Or do a podcast, man. They killing it right now. All the ex-Celtics is killing it doing podcasts. Paul Pierce is a little crazy, but I mean, he's doing his thing.
Hey, he definitely is.
Well, Dave, I think you made it through your flu game, man.